Hi, I'm going to say a little bit today about our relationship with panic and quite specifically with panic attacks or anxiety attacks, which for those who are familiar with that experientially, it can be really overwhelming. And firstly, just going to look at the language around that too. Use of the word attack is pretty scary and it suggests that that's a massive threat to us. And while the experience is arising, of course, within the body and in the mind, it does feel huge. It's an intense experience internally that other people just cannot intuit, can't feel it necessarily. And often when we go into conversations about panic attacks, there'll be exploration of coping mechanisms, tools and ways of managing it. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's really, valuable. But this conversation isn't about that. It's about something a little bit more fundamental, which is redefining, re-looking at our whole relationship with fear. Because as long as we feel like there's something to manage, we're holding it in opposition and there's tension. And that's what fear really, that's what perpetuates fear. It's fear of fear that creates the cycle. And of course, it's an uncomfortable experience. I've had them before. I've had nocturnal panic attacks. I've even had panic attacks while driving. And it's really disarming physically because there's a whole bundle of sensations and then the story in the mind that keeps feeding it. But essentially, it's based on the idea of threat and feeling unsafe. And that's predominantly psychologically. It's rarely actually physical in the moment danger. So this psychological threat is really hard to define. But when we realise that the story is amplified by the fear of the experience, we start to see how the terror of experiencing a panic attack is what keeps that emotion. And actually, an understanding of the body is where we start to shift our relationship with it. And understanding that the fear is a protective mechanism of the psychological system of the psyche to try and keep the identity safe. But mostly the identity is safe, it just feels under threat. So rather than holding at arm's length, which is what we do often, it's about, weirdly, inviting the experience and recognizing that actually you can stay safe, you can hold it, even though it's deeply uncomfortable. Mostly we just want to fix it, solve it, and escape the discomfort. But if we actually say, okay, come on then, do it, do whatever you're going to do, you will feel the nervous system starts to settle a little bit because it's allowing, it's acceptance of that fear. The fear can be there, it's uncomfortable, but it can be there. And to let it just do what it's going to do and see that it has its own rhythm, it will rise and then it will fall. It cannot last, it cannot be static, it just isn't. And it's only when we start to really move towards it with curiosity and compassion that we see that it's not what we thought it was. And I work with quite a lot of people who experience anxiety, fear. They're reviewing their relationship with fear, and it's just a really fascinating exploration. So do feel free to get in touch if you'd like to know more. Have a lovely day.